We'll begin the session today. The camera romba high irukka. Konjam irukkanum. Oh, okay. So we generally start every class with the prayer to Guru Parampara, Sadashiva Samarambam, Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Parampara. And after that we have the prayer on the prayer that Vyasacharya had written for the entire Mahabharata. So that we will repeat. So we will chant Sadashiva Samarambam, and then, or rather I'll say all both the verses we shall repeat after. So you can repeat after me. Om Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Wonderful. So, yesterday we were talking about invocation of Bhagavan and the de-invocation of Bhagavan from the form that we have installed in front of us for worship. Bhagavan, when you say Bhagavan, he is a one. When you say Dhanavan, what does that mean? One who has a lot of dhanam, right? One who has a lot of dhanam is called Dhanavan. And whom do you call as Balavan? One who has a lot of balam, Balavan. So similarly, when you say Bhagavan, it implies one who has Bhaga, the sixfold virtues. One who has the sixfold virtues is called Bhagavan. Bhaga includes the six virtues. So what are the six virtues? Aishwaryasya samagrasya Viryasya Shriyaha Jnana Vairagya Yoschaiva Shannam Bhaga Itirana. It is defined as the six are given in a shloka form. The greatness of our elders has always been that anything that you have to remember, they make it into a shloka form so that it is easy to memorize because it's in a metrical composition. So it can be sung, and therefore with the tune, along with the tune, it becomes very easy to memorize. So Aishwaryam, the first quality. Aishwaryam means overlordship or power. Generally we use Aishwaryam for lot of money, but as the word is in Sanskritam, Aishwaryam refers to overlordship or power. And the second one is Viryam. Viryam means courage. The third is Yashas. Yashas means fame. The fourth virtue is Shrihi. Shrihi means wealth. Lakshmi. Shrihi, wealth. The fifth virtue is jnanam. Jnanam means knowledge. And the last, the sixth one is vairagyam, detachment. So, the shloka says, samagrasya. He has each of these six, Aishwaryam, Viryam, Yashas, Shrihi, Jnanam and Vairagyam. He has all the six of them in full measure. And such a God, when you de-invoke from the form in front of you or from the symbol in front of you, and you install him in your heart, which is his yatasthanam, which is his original place. So when you invoke him, his original place of residence, so when you put him back here, so you have a person who has power, courage, fame, wealth, knowledge and detachment in full measure, right? So you have him here, and with this attitude when the day begins, then one is ready to face all the challenges in life, because I have the person who has all of these, who is rich in all of these, and who can always protect me no matter what comes in my life, what I am given to face in that day. So faith in God, in the stage, we are talking about stage 1, right? We said there are 2 stages. Stage 1 is Ishvara Aradhanam, and stage 2 is Ishvara Jnanam, which we will see today. So Ishvara Aradhanam, the faith that you have in Ishvara, in Bhagavan, brings a lot of self-confidence. You feel you can do it. You feel you can face it. So it brings a lot of self-confidence in yourself. And there is another shloka in Sanskritam which says, Mantre tirte dvije deve daivagne beshaje gurau yadrishi bhavana yasya siddhir bhavati tadrishi. It means there are certain things, certain factors in which you must have faith. And one who has, the more faith you have, the more beneficial it is for you. So what are they? Mantre. When you chant a mantra, say Gayatri mantra. Gayatri mantra is supposed to protect you. Gayantyam trayate rakshate iti Gayatri. So Gayatri is the one who protects the chanter. The one who chants the mantra is protected. So mantra, once one has faith in this and he chants Gayatri, the more faith you have, the more protection you have, the more benefit you get. So in mantra and in tirte is when you have a chance to take a dip in Ganga, for example, or any punya tirtha. The prarthana is that all my papam goes away once I take a dip. So what helps you in washing away your papam is not the mere tirtham, but your attitude, your faith that your papam will go. So the more faith you have, the more beneficial it is. One who does not see Ganga as the one who purifies me, for him Ganga cannot help. Right? So mantre tirte, similarly dvije, in the Brahmana priest, in all the Prohit, that he will definitely help you in completing the puja, and the puja that he presides over for you, will help you in achieving whatever you had prayed for. So, Dvije, Deve in Ishvara, and Daivagnya refers to astrologer, okay? In case you go to an astrologer, the better you believe him, okay? Otherwise, what happens is, what he tells, the parihara, he may say, advise some parihara, and the parihara you must do it with full faith. If you don't have faith, the parihara will not give you benefit. It is said that, no, I am not advising you to go and meet a astrologer, but I am just saying, I am just talking about all those things which this shloka is telling one must really have faith on, and the more one has faith, the more it helps him. So, mantre, tirte, dvije, deve, daivagne, and beshaje. Beshaje is medicine or doctor. You should have faith. Guru, in the teacher. You must have faith that the knowledge that you receive from the teacher will help you in life. And yadrishi bhavana yasya, whoever has how much, any amount of bhavana or faith, siddhir bhavati tadrishi, benefits to that extent. The amount of faith you have, to that extent, to whatever amount of faith you have, to that extent you are benefited. Alright. Now, there is, we've heard of this Ishvara Darshanam, and it is well known in our system, and one who worships Ishvara in any form can have Ishvara Darshanam, darshan of Ishvara in that form itself. Say you worship Ganesha, one day Ganesha comes in his form, the elephant face, and so Chamara Karna, Vilambita Sutra, Vamana Rupa, all the form that you say, you chant, you describe him, he comes in that form. So one who worships Bhagavan in any form, Ishvara in any form, can have Ishvara Darshanam. And in fact, Shankara mentions this in Brahma Sutra Bhashyam as well. Syad Parameshwarasyapi Ichcha Vashat Mayamayam Rupam Bhakta Anugrahartham. He takes the form, Ishvara, the formless Ishvara, takes the form in which the Bhakta worships him and appears in front of him. Bhagavan will give darshanam, but will he give darshanam to me? Is the question, right? If I want to see him, will he give me darshanam? Can I expect that? And when will that happen? What should I do to get Ishvara darshanam? If there is a question you have on this, then you must be reminded of Saint Tyagaraja, who was a great Rama Bhakta. He chanted Rama Nama 96 crore times. Okay? He chanted Rama Nama for 96 crore times, and every Nama he had the bhavana of the bhakti bhavana of Rama. The sense that his mind was so still and steady on Rama that while chanting his mind did not ever deviate. Okay, so if just imagine the amount of sadhana or the exercise one has to perform to achieve Ishvara Darshanam. It is not easy, okay? And our focus is not to have Ishvara's Darshanam in any one particular form. Because what happens afterwards? He comes and he goes. He is not going to stay with you, right? So, this having Ishvara Darshanam in a particular form is not our focus. And one must remember that in the stage of Ishvara Aradhanam itself, in the first stage itself, life can be very beautiful, very joyful, very successful, and in fact very, very peaceful with Ishvara Aradhanam. just mere faith in Ishvara. Mere faith in Ishvara. This prepares you for the second stage, which is Ishvara jnanam. And when we talk of Ishvara jnanam, there are three factors involved. Three factors are involved when we talk of Ishvara jnanam. The first factor is one should have a sincere desire to know who is God or what is God. Who is God or what is God? This sincerity, this desire one has within is called jnana. And that kind of a bhakti on Ishvara, to know who he is called jnana bhakti or jnanasu bhakti. In the earlier stages of bhakti, one goes and asks Ishvara for a lot of things that he wants, a lot of worldly things. I want a car, I want a job, I have to get married, I need a child, right? I need more money, or a litigation that is pending should be cleared. A lot of things are there. So he prays for a lot of things. That kind of a devotee is called Artha Artharthi Bhakta. One who prays to God in crisis, or one who prays to God for more success or wealth in life. Artha Bhakta is the one who prays only when there is crisis. Artharthi Bhakta is the one who prays to Ishvara when he needs when he needs anything in life. But this fellow is a jnanasu bhakta, and he prays Ishvara for what? To know Ishvara, to understand Ishvara. He wants to know what is God, who is God, where he is. Right? I need to know about him. I've been worshipping somebody, and from somewhere he has been giving me all that I need. I have got all that is good for me he has given me, and even though I prayed for some, he did not give me, and later I realized that they are not good for me, and it is better that he did not give me those things. So, who is this person who is sitting somewhere? If at all he is sitting somewhere, I need to know where he is and who he is or what he is. And we have in Sanatana Dharma, we saw that we have a lot of forms, right? We pray Ishvara in the form of Rama. We pray him in the form of Krishna, as Shiva, as Devi. Now, which one is God? Who is the real God? Do we have many gods parallelly, all of them of equal designation? Or is there a hierarchy as to one is superior and the other is inferior? Is there really a hierarchy? You take the Puranas, you take Shiva Purana, it says Shiva is the greatest and everybody is subordinate to him. You take Devi Purana, it says it's only from Devi that Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara came. She is the origin, Adi Parashakti is the origin. Now, each of them claim that that particular deity is the highest. Now, which one should I take to be the truth? How do I understand all this? So, which one is God? Where is he located? He or she, where is he located? First of all, are there many gods? Now, we already have a big group in Hinduism, and then we hear of Allah in Islam, we hear of Christ or our Father in heaven in Christianity. So, where are they? Are there many gods? Where are they located? And what is the nature of God? Is he a male? Is he a female? Is he old? Is he young? How do they stay young forever? So, I need to know all these things, right? I need to understand. I have all these questions, and even if I don't have these questions, once you have a child, you get to face all these questions, right? Children are more intelligent, and what happens is parents don't have answers to all these questions, and sometimes it irritates you. Too many questions on something that you don't know could irritate you, and you say, shut up. And I'm not sure whether you can even use those words in the US at your child. Child is capable of dialing a number where you get into trouble. So all these things are there. So this person, this Jignasu Bhakta, has all these questions, not mere questions, but all these quests in life for which he wants an answer, he seeks an answer. And these are not casual desires, because they are quests, they are deep desires. And this kind of a deep desire, in Vedanta Shastra, Vyasacharya says, Atato Brahma Jignasa. That is where one begins to study. One is introduced into jnanam. He becomes a person who is qualified to receive the knowledge. So, the first factor that is required for Ishvara jnanam is the quest that one should have to know what is God or who is God. Now, the second factor that one needs to have is a spiritual guide or a teacher to give you this knowledge, to give you this education. Then the third factor is a mature or a subtle mind that one should have. Subtle intellect that one should have, because this is knowledge. You are seeking knowledge, and the instrument that receives knowledge is your intellect. So the intellect, how should it be? It should be subtle. Why should it be subtle? Because you are entering an abstract teaching. You are entering teaching about something that is originally formless. And this teaching about who is God or what is God, to understand this, to grasp this, mind has to be subtle. And Ishvara Aradhanam that you perform in the first stage, one may have a question, I don't know to do puja. How do I do puja? I have not known any mantras or the Shodasha Upachara, the Paddhati. I have never been introduced to all that. How do I do that? If one has that question, then it's very simple. See, in our system, you don't have, as long as you understand, you have understood why the Aradhanam needs to be performed, and you don't perform it for any worldly benefit or desire. You perform to equip yourself to understand Vishnu Sahasranamam, then it is enough that you have either one flower, a fruit, or if you are in a place where you don't get either or both of them, even a spoon of water is enough. A leaf or a water, whichever is accessible to you, and to the extent it is accessible and possible for you to offer him, you offer that to your Ishtadevata that you have at home, a picture or a deity you have, and you pray him sincerely from your heart. Be committed in your prayer. Just a few minutes of prayer every day would do. And if you know any shloka on your Ishtadevata, you can chant that. Nothing is compulsory. There is absolute freedom in the way you can pray. The only thing is that one needs to pray. You need to take the effort to pray. Alright, so Ishvara Aradhanam, when performed wholeheartedly this way, will give you all the three things. What are the three things we saw? The desire to know Ishvara. Then a guide, you need to have a teacher, and you need to find a teacher, right? You need to meet a teacher, and that will happen. And then a mature mind to receive the teaching, and you will be blessed with that as well. So a desire, a teacher, and a mature mind. You will be blessed with all these three. Now once you have entered this second stage and the teaching begins, And the teaching goes on. The teacher makes use of our scriptures to teach you the nature of God. Now the teacher cannot teach a Sampradaya Acharya. Yesterday Acharya Rangaji was mentioning about Sampradaya with. He said that Samskrita word with can be taken to literally mean the meaning of the English word with also. The one who is with Sampradaya is a Sampradaya with. In Samskrita, with means the one who has the knowledge of the methodology. Sampradaya means methodology. Methodology of what? Methodology of handling the words in the Shastram. Unlocking the words. The key to unlock the words in the Shastram. Because our Shastram is made up of words. Every Nama in Vishnu Sahasranamam has to be unlocked properly, methodically. So, the teacher does not take the opportunity to tell all what he or she knows. It is not their own personal opinion or ideas or suggestions that they share. It is what is taught by the scriptures in the way it has to be taught, and it has been taught traditionally. This traditional teaching system where one reveals, helps the student see the meaning of what has been taught by the Vedas is called Sampradaya. The methodology is called Sampradaya. So for this, the teacher uses Upanishad as the primary scripture. Upanishads are the last part of the Veda, which is called Vedanta. Vedanta, the last portion of Veda. And what about Gita? Of course Gita, because Gita is also based on Upanishads only. At the end of every chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we chant Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre. So Bhagavad Gita is the essence of the Upanishads and in fact the entire Veda. Therefore, the teacher uses Upanishads primarily, assisted by Gita and other texts which we call Prakarana Granthas, which has been contributed by various acharyas at various stages. So these help in understanding of the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita. So initially we saw that one just needs in stage 1 to have Ishvara, to do Ishvara Aradhana, one needs faith in God and little bit of information about God. And that information we saw is that Bhagavan is Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Karta. He is the creator, he is the sustainer, and he is the resolution ground into which the entire cosmos resolves at the time of Pralaya, the big crunch. Okay? When it happens, he is the resolution ground. Now, in stage 2, what happens is, earlier we said he is the Karta, right? He is the Srishti Karta, he is the Sthiti Karta, meaning he is the doer. Karta means creator, sustainer. So, in stage 2, we don't say Karta, we replace the word Karta, the teacher replaces the word Karta with the word Karanam. He is the Srishti Karanam. He is the Sthiti Karanam. And he is the Laya Karanam. What is the meaning of the word Karanam? Karanam means cause or the source. He is the cause of the universe, the origination of the universe, for the origination of the universe. While scientists talk about Big Bang as the origination of this universe, that science is called cosmology. So they also are trying to find out, are dealing with the origination of this universe, trying to find out from where the universe came into existence. That the universe is existent means that it originated somewhere, right? That you have a beautiful altar of Bhagavan in front of you, Venkatachalapati in front of you, means that somebody should have made this altar, right? So it did not come, it did not appear out of thin air. So somebody has to be there. Therefore, there has to be an origination. So, what is the origination? That which is non-existent or that which is nowhere cannot be the cause. You can't say nothing was the cause and everything came from nothing. Nullity was the cause, Shunya was the cause, and everything came from Shunya. How can something come from Shunya? You say nothing was there and it came. How can it come? It has to have an origin, right? So there has to be a fundamental cause that existed before the Srishti of this universe. So this Karanam we call as Ishvara. So the cause we give that a name, the Karanam. I will use the word Karanam henceforth. Okay. So the Karanam we call as Ishvara, and what came out of the Karanam, the product, the Karyam is what we call this Jagat. So the entire Srishti originated from Karana Ishvara. Here in Chennai, in a locality called Saidapet, we have a temple called Karaneshwara temple. It denotes that principle which is the source of the entire Srishti. Alright, so we will move on to the next part of the teaching. What is the meaning of the word Ishvara? Before we move on to the next part of teaching, in fact, we will see the meaning of the word Ishvara. The word Ishvara has a basic word which is the root word, and then you have the suffix added to it. So Ish is the root word and Vara is the suffix. In Sanskritam, you call the basic word as Prakriti and the suffix as Pratyaya. So the basic word Ish, when you say the word worker in English, worker, work and right? Work is the basic word and you add an ER to it, a suffix to it. So work, the word work is the Prakriti, the basic word, and the ER is called, the basic word, and ER is the suffix which is called Pratyaya. And similarly, you have this Ish and Vara. So the word Ish, the basic word Ish, indicates Aishwarye. Aishwarye means one who rules or one who protects. The word Aishwarye originates from the root Ish, which means to rule or to protect. And the one who, Ishvara means the one who protects, sustains, and is also the source of blessing to all the ones in this universe. So if you need to take some example of people who protect, you take the example of the president of the country, right? So in India as well, we have a president who presides over, who is the lord of all the three armed forces. You have the military force, you have the air force, and you also have the navy. And the one who is the lord of all the three forces, all the three protection forces, is the president of the country. That is how it is as per the constitution of India. And I'm sure you have something similar in the US as well, and in whichever country you are, I'm sure you have something similar there as well. So, the president of the country protects the country. But when the president is supposed to come down to the road and he travels in the road, he goes in the car, he needs protection, right? He is the one who is supposed to protect everybody, but he himself needs protection by a group of people, right? And you take the case of a lawyer, he is the one who fights the case for everybody who approaches him, all his clients, and when he needs to fight a case, he approaches another lawyer. There is somebody else for him to fight the case. And you take a doctor, he saves the life of many people. And when his life is in danger, he needs the support of another doctor, right? So no one seems to be an overlord of everybody. You take everybody in this universe, you see that there is somebody else who is overlording them. If they are considered to be the lord of a particular field, there is, and when they are in need, they are being overlorded by somebody else. So there is nobody in this world who is the real master. Who is the real master? Who can be the real master? The real master is the one who is not overlorded by anybody else. He is the real master, the one who is not overlorded. So, in Shiva Ashtottara, when we do puja for Shiva, in the Ashtottara Namavali, all the 108 namas that is chanted and flowers are offered, there is a nama we say Ishvaraya Namaha. Ishvaraya Namaha means the one who is the Lord, right? Now you know the meaning of Ishvara, Aishwarye. So, the one who is the overlord. And there is another nama which follows, which says Anishvaraya Namaha. So what does that mean? Ishvara means overlord. Anishvara means the one who is a slave, who is subjected to somebody. Does it what it mean? No. It means the one who does not have an overlord. The one who is not overlorded by somebody else. Ishvaraha na vidyate yasya. The one who does not have an Ishvara for himself is Anishvaraha. So Ishvara is the overlord, and also he is also Anishvaraha, meaning he does not have a master for himself. He is the ultimate master. And the verbal root that we saw, Ish, which is represented by the word Aishwarye, we're just looking into some grammar, it could be a little boring, but I thought anyway it is useful because it is very important that we know the meaning of the word. So this word also indicates the person who has a habit of ruling, who is habituated to ruling, who is habituated to protecting. Therefore, he is the one who always rules. By nature, he always rules, he always protects. There is no possibility that he will fail in his duty of ruling or protecting. And he doesn't require, he doesn't need to be ruled, he doesn't need to be sustained, or he doesn't need to be protected. He is the one who rules, he is the one who sustains, and he is the one who protects. Such an Ishvara is the Karanam, and what you experience as the world in front of you, including all the objects, the people, and all the situations, the events that you experience, is called as Jagat, which is the product, which is the Karyam. Okay, so I'll repeat, Ishvara is the Karanam, and the world that you experience is the Karyam, is the product. Karanam means cause, Karyam means product. Now, in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 18, Bhagavan Krishna says, Ishvara sarva bhutanam Hrideshe Arjuna tishtati. He says, Krishna, he says, I am the Ishvara, Sarvabhutanam Ishvaraha Aham. And where is my place of resident? Hey Arjuna, Hrideshe tishtati. I reside in the heart of every being. This is what Krishna says in Gita. So this reminds me of yesterday's introductory talk by Acharya Rangaji, where he said, he quoted Pujya Swamiji's examples in his classes, and he said how he explains that you need not be happy, you need not have anything outside of you to make you happy. You don't have to fulfill all your desires to be happy. We have a notion that I am sad because I have a lot of unfulfilled desires, and I would be happy if I fulfill all the desires. But the fact is, even a small joke can make me laugh, can make me happy. When that can be, while I have a whole list of unfulfilled desires. So, what keeps me happy is because Ananda, Purna or Shantihi being my original nature. That is my real nature. And the saddest part is that human seeks to know everything in this Jagat but his own self. He does not know about his own self. So what is the connection between what we are seeing about Ishvara and what we are talking now is that by knowing Ishvara, one gets to know about his own self. The real nature of myself I get to know by knowing the real nature of Ishvara. Why should I know this now? Why should I know who Ishvara is? Why should I know what my real nature is? It is only then you complete the purpose of this human birth. And it is only then you can stay more relaxed and you can lead a life of tranquility. You can continue to do whatever you are doing. It doesn't mean that you have to move away into a life of exile, a life of renunciation. No, that is not required. You can continue to do whatever you are doing, but you would be all peaceful. You will be ever happy. And anybody who comes and talks to you will derive joy, will derive peace and happiness, will derive relaxation talking to you. And everybody will start liking you. You wouldn't have enemies. If we say all these things, then you would be attracted, right? You would understand, because it is important to know what we get before we enter into something. What is the benefit of it? So this is the benefit. Okay. Now, knowing Ishvara as the Karanam of this Jagat. So when we say Ishvara as the Karanam of this Jagat, the first thing that we have to see is that now we look at our body, we have a mind, and we of course know the thoughts that flow into the mind, and we have a set of sense organs, and we have the external world, and we transact with the external world using the sense organs. Now we see that everything is intelligently connected. You look at your body, you have the organs in your body, and all the organs in your body function in a coordinated way, and there is an intelligence principle that presides over the functioning of your body. It is not that each organ functions in its own fashion without coordinating with the other organs. No, that doesn't happen. You take a tree, you take any animal, you take any part of this creation, you see that it functions, it has a science, it has an intelligence because of the order in which it functions. So this order that the universe follows presupposes an intelligent principle the creator, right? Otherwise, something cannot happen or carry on in such an intelligent way. And we saw that Ishvara is all intelligence. He is the total intelligence. And he is the Karanam. So when we, this is the traditional example that we take to understand when we talk of Karana Karya Prakriya. Prakriya means method. So when we talk of Karana Karya Prakriya, this is a pot, right? This pot should have an origination, should have a cause. Now, if there is a pot in front of me, then somebody should have made it, and it takes a lot of intelligence and skill to make a pot, right? If we know that there is a clay and there is a wheel that goes around and you have to keep the clay, and there are a lot of YouTube videos wherein you can see this, and the potter carefully shapes the clay and he takes out the pot, right? If we were supposed to do it, I'm sure we are going to spoil it. It wouldn't be a pot, it would possibly be something else, right? So there is a lot of skill and intelligence required. The intelligence principle behind the pot is the potter himself. The second thing is, the pot has another cause. The material of the pot, of the pot is the clay. So the clay is the material cause of the pot, and the potter is the intelligent cause of the pot, right? So everything in this Jagat, if you take, would have two causes. One is the material cause and the other is the intelligent cause. Now Ishvara, we saw, is the intelligent principle for this Jagat. He is the one who created this Jagat. He is the one who designed everything. Now the question is, where did he take all the materials for making this Jagat? Where did all these materials come from? Where was he sitting when he made this Jagat? There is a system, there is a religion that says the Father in the heaven created this world when he was sitting in the heaven. Now you go and tell this story to a child, the child will ask, who created the heaven he was sitting in? And where did he get all the materials from? Where did he store them? Did he have a warehouse where he stored all the materials? And who made the warehouse? And who made the materials, the basic raw materials? So all these questions, we wouldn't have an answer if we don't understand what the Vedas tell us, right? So the materials also should have been created, right? And there is no other person other than Ishvara who could have created. Only Ishvara has to create. All right, he created, but where did he create where did he bring all those materials into existence? It cannot be from somewhere. If it was somewhere, then it means then the material was somewhere and Ishvara is here. There is a space between the material and the Ishvara, and the next question will come, who created that space between the two? Right? So there has to be only one way, and the way is he himself has to be the material cause of this Jagat. There is no other way. So this Jagat is the product of Ishvara, who is the cause, who is both the intelligent and the material cause. Just like how clay is the material cause of the pot, Ishvara himself is the material cause of this Jagat. Therefore, we can say another example we can take is the cloth. The material cause of the cloth is the thread. Just like how it is only thread which makes up the cloth, and there is nothing else but the thread in the cloth. And where is the thread in the cloth? It is all over, right? It inheres the cloth. Similarly, all the forms in this universe is the form of Ishvara. He inheres this universe as every form. He manifests this. He manifested as every name and form in this universe. You take the cloth, you go to the thread, and then the thread is made of molecules. The molecules is made of atoms. The atoms are made of particles, and science says they are all in movement. And you see one steady cloth. Science says this is in movement. Particles in movement, particles in motion, atoms in movement. The movement of the atomic particles, that they are constantly in motion, is what is indicated by the posture of Nataraja. So that we worship Nataraja, we worship this niyati, this law of the particles in motion, that everything is in motion, and that motion, that which keeps it in motion, is Ishvara, is the law which is called Ishvara. The niyati which is Ishvara himself, the material which is Ishvara himself. So he is the space, he is the air, he is the fire, he is the water, and he is every object, the earth and every object that you experience in front of you. Every single object is nothing but the manifestation of Ishvara. This is why in our system, in our Sanatana Dharma, by mistake you stamp a paper. What do? Immediately you say, because it is Saraswati. And you are in US and you get to stamp on a US dollar. It is Lakshmi for you, right? Now how can US dollar be Lakshmi? Only Indian rupees can be Lakshmi, right? Because India is the land of Hinduism. US you don't have Hinduism. Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter for you. What matters is you see every wealth as Lakshmi. So you stamp on it, immediately you. It's a way of saying sorry and atoning your mistake, even if you had done it unintentionally. So everything you take, we worship, because Ishvara is in every form. We don't have many gods. We don't have many gods. We don't have one God. What is that we have? We have only God. Our scriptures say what exists is only God, nothing but God. And it is that Ishvara, the cause, who manifested as the Jagat in front of you. Now, if you take, suppose there is somebody named Venkata Subramanyam. Venkata Subramanyam. Now this is a very big name. Generally in US they prefer small names. So he may be called as Venkat, Venki, Subbu, or sometimes called Mani, various names. And when you talk about the roles that he is given to, his son or daughter would address him as Appa, and he is the brother of somebody, he is husband for somebody, he is a son for somebody. So all these names that he has, all address him. It is one person, but who is addressed with many names, right? It is just one person. Now, the question is whether Ishvara also has similar names. The answer is yes. How many names he has? He has 1,000 names. Sahasranamam. Sahasra means 1,000. As you understand, the more you understand who Ishvara is, the more the names, the meaning of the names would be clear to you. And the more you understand the names of Ishvara, your understanding of who Ishvara is would be clear. So, We say this because God is the most misunderstood person in this world. Now we feel bad when a person who is very close to us misunderstands us. But God is the one who is the most misunderstood. Some people say that He is a power that who is beyond us, and they give Him a location, they associate Him with a gender, and they call Him Father in heaven or whatever. And and He is taken to be the one who is highly judgmental, and a person who wouldn't stand any violations of His mandates. Such a misunderstood person we have, right? We have misunderstood Him. And to recall once again Rangaji's introduction, we think that he has a stick in his hand or a needle in his hand, and you do any mistake, he will come and poke your eyes. Now we say Bhagavan kanna kuttuvar. That is what we say in Tamil. So you do a mistake, he has a needle or a weapon in his hand, and he will come and prick your eyes. Because of these kind of things, these kind of preachings, many do not accept religious theologies. And even those who accept religious theologies, and when they are given to suffering, they don't understand who God is, and that He does not see any joy in giving you any sadness or sorrow. They start shouting at Him when they are into deep sorrow. You don't have eyes, you don't have a heart, you want to see me suffering, and I was so sincere to you. I worshipped you every day, but you left me in stray. So, all these kind of words and utterances we make is because we have not understood who Ishvara is. That's all. So, once this understanding comes, this is a great relief. This knowledge would be a great relief to many of our miseries and difficulties that we have emotionally. So this knowledge is definitely going to help us a lot. And this Sahasranama, there are many words that we would be dealing with, and in fact 1,000 words that we are going to see. We will begin all the 1,000 words, seeing all these words one after the other. But before that, we have something called a Purva Bhaga. So Purva Bhaga is the shlokas starting from Shuklam Bharadaram, right? Until before the Sahasranama starts. The 108 main verses begin. So we will start the Purva Bhaga in the next class, in the next week's class, and we will proceed on to finish the Purva Bhaga. There are about 33 shlokas in the Purva Bhaga. 29 shlokas in the Purva Bhaga, and then we will have 108 shlokas in the main Vishnu Sahasranama, and another 33 shlokas in the Palashruti, the ending part, which is traditionally chanted. So Vishnu Sahasranama is traditionally chanted with 29 shlokas in the beginning, the main 108 shlokas, and then 33 shlokas, summing up to 170 shlokas in all. And we will see each and every one of them beginning from the next class. So we will conclude this class with the prayer. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Hari Om. Pleased to meet all of you today for the second day as well. So it's great that you could make it today. So please make it regular to the class, and I only hope that all of you who switched off your videos have also been listening to the class. It's only a hope from the teacher, because I don't get to see you. I'm used to taking classes to people sitting in front of me. As a teacher, the flow of the words, the class, it is easier when I see you in front of me. So I request all the attendees to switch on the videos from next class onwards, so that it is helpful for me also. Even I feel enthusiastic taking class. Otherwise, it feels very dumb to take the class in front of a camera. So that is why. Thank you for making it today as well. Much happy to see all of you. We will meet next week, next Sunday evening in your scheduled time. Hari Om.